The African Peer Review Mechanism, APRM, responsible for analyzing credit ratings for African Union member states, has expressed concern over a commentary by Fitch Ratings on the political situation in South Africa. The APRM views Fitch Ratings' comments as politically motivated and interfering in internal political affairs. They believe Fitch should have waited for the outcomes of ongoing negotiations before making conclusions. So this morning from Butterworth, South Africa, I have joining me an economist, Pelisa Nkomo. Pelisa, it's nice to have you join us on the show.
Yes, good afternoon in South Africa and good morning in Nigeria.
Of course. Now, Fitch Ratings, in a commentary, had said by its permutations, it believes that a coalition between the DA and ANC would likely result in policy continuity. The least significant changes to key credit metrics over the medium term and enhanced fiscal tightening. So first, what do you make of these postulations? And secondly, the fact that it is coming from a credit ratings agency at this critical time in South Africa's election period.
Yes, in fact, I share the sentiments of the PRM that Fitch rating agency has absolutely no authority, no right to reflect on the political situation in South Africa. And that's the first thing. And then the second issue is that it needs to give South Africans an opportunity to make a decision on what type of government they would like to form. South Africans have voted and made the choices they would like to have, and as such, they need a space for them to make the decision. And then the third issue is that now the timing for us, we think that as well, is quite interfering, opportunistic, but also it's intended at actually, undermining the sovereignty of South Africa. That South Africa should actually have, and its own political parties should actually be undertaking its collusion negotiations, without any form of external influence. And we do think that those comments were actually highly inappropriate from the Fitch, and I think the call by APRM is absolutely correct. And it's not the role of Fitch again to actually tell us what type of macroeconomic policy we should be pursuing and who should be part of government for South Africa to actually achieve macroeconomic stability.
Okay, so we'll speak more about that macroeconomic stability because that was one of the postulations put forward by Fitch Ratings. Now, if you're going to be critical, is there any analysis that actually speaks for or against the potential economic impact of a DA-led coalition government or probably a government of national unity compared to a potential ANC-led coalition with either MK or EFF? Because we see the Fitch Ratings coming out to say that South Africa's debt trajectory will face additional risks if it aligns with other oppositions aside the DA.
Actually, this is a very good question. And it's how, by the way, rating agencies operate. They operate on speculative scenarios. They operate on speculative thinking. There's absolutely no assessment of that nature. So there's no science to actually support the argument. That's the first. I think the second issue, the science that they are following, it's actually based on conservative, orthodox, or neoliberal policies that they've really been putting South Africa to pursue, which amongst those is austerity measures. So in essence, the reason why they're thinking that DA would be an appropriate party is because DA does subscribe to neoliberal policies which don't really address the development challenges that South Africa is confronted with, which is of poverty, unemployment, social inequality, and income inequality. And over the years, we've actually experienced what we call economic migration. So in essence, DA has not been anywhere closer in addressing these issues. The other issue that actually the credit agents are really demonstrating is that countries that were in countries where they don't have influence over politically, right? They use this kind of moments. But also if they don't have any form of influence, amongst the key things is that they then punish those countries by giving them negative credit profile, which makes it actually extremely expensive for those countries to actually raise capital from financial markets. South Africa has been following some of the credit ratings advices And amongst those is implementation of austerity macroeconomic policy, but we still raise funding from financial markets at 9%, while most of the European countries, right, are actually, which are using expansionary mechanism within their monetary policy, they're raising capital at less than 5%.
Okay, well, Pelisa, this is one conversation that we are still going to dwell more on. We're going to bring you on board to talk more about it, most especially as it involves different concerns as regards a deviation from the economic policy directions of government over time and what either a government of coalition, a coalition government or a government of unity might achieve for South Africa. So, Pelisa, at this point, let me just say thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. Pelisa Nkomo, an economist, and I'm sure that next time when we bring you on board to talk more about this, you would oblige our call. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you.